7:34 at TSN 1050. Mike Richards in the morning. At 7:45, we do Leafs Breakfast with Darren Dreger. We'll talk about some of the issues, including the league now being able to fine coaches for the personnel they put on the ice. Okay, that's weird. So they can actually see intent. Wasn't that a Tom Cruise movie with bald women in a pool? Or is that just a weird rental that I shouldn't be talking about? Now, we have our very good friend, I'm saying a Hall of Fame guest. He is in the Mike Richards Hall of Fame. Andy Kindler is joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Kindler.
Thank you. I love the ceremony when I was inducted into the Mike Richards Hall of Fame.
Well, cheesies are underrated, I find.
And you gave me an honorary puck.
Yes.
A Don Rickles approved hockey puck.
Yeah, that is correct.
Already people are searching online. Don Rickles, what is he saying? Exactly.
Yeah. And, of course, as the last time you were on the show, it was not televised nationally. Now it is.
I can't believe we've made the big time.
Yes,
look at me.
Huge. Yes,
and people love to look at me in the morning. It's unbelievable.
Is it a thing for people?
Well, I bring my own. I don't think this is weird that I bring my own powder. Is that wrong?
Okay. You bring your own.
Yes.
Your own powder.
Yeah. I wish the term pancake makeup still had as much humor involved with it. But I'm not going to lie. I use a little rouge.
You're a rouge man.
Yes.
I never would have thought that.
And then I straighten out my plugs before I come in. I use my topics, which is a thing that.
Now you're in town.
Which is a thing that I like to trail off. They call my new stage name is Fizzles.
Just for last 42, there's a lot of big names in this thing. This is huge.
Here, for example.
Yes.
And then also big names.
And others.
Sarah Silverman, isn't she here?
Maria Bamford, I know.
Yes.
Yep. And John Mulaney, I believe.
He is my favorite right now.
Yeah.
He's the greatest. He's like young and hilarious. It is something that annoys me about him. He really is. He's like he was writing for Saturday Night Live for a few years, but he's really. Why am I plugging him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what are you on? What are you on?
I just saw your website, and I'm looking at this picture.
Yes.
And very often, for instance, in the 70s, there'd be a huge, artist, an album. And I'm looking at this picture of you, and I'm trying to figure out what adjective I would put for this picture that I see on your website.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Smoky good looks.
Smoky good looks. There's a hidden anger to it.
Yeah, there's a certain rage, but that's the subtext. Well, my website gets over 19 unique visitors a month. There's a guy who wears a top hat. There's a lady who collects doilies. Unique, literally, folks. Straight from my act. That's a joke. Also, my website, I want to encourage people, it never changes. Are you sick of all kinds of flashing things and gizmos? Yes. It's the same. It's a home. It's like home.
Yes, you have none of that.
I have my tour dates from 2003 up there. Why change?
No,
I say.
Why go changing? Maybe that's what the title should be of your an album.
Or the kind of it's very outdoorsy. I'm very outdoorsy.
This surprises me. This look. It's like is this in New York? Where is this?
That I think is in like Ireland or something like that. I don't
see a lot of Ireland coming from you.
Well, I have a Bobby double. I have a body double. That's not me. I don't actually go out on photo shoots anymore.
Is this Bono? Is this?
Oh no, I was in Ireland. I was at the Kilkenny Festival many years ago. I bombed.
Oh, you bombed.
I bombed over, and I don't do well overseas, and especially in a tent. They had like the huge tent. And people drinking a lot. When people get past a certain drinking point, they don't get my unique visitors joke.
Once again, the uniqueness lost, Dave. You want to get it?
So the difference between a European audience and a North American audience is?
You have to have. If you have I've always said if you have a guitar, you can be big in Europe. That's what I've always said. I'm not going to lie and say I've done extensive touring, but I've been to London.
Yeah.
And I thought they would. I don't know what I expect when I go overseas. Is this going to be a parade, or people will come out of their homes to see me to watch? My favorite gig though overseas was Melbourne, Australia, because they loved all my self-deprecating material. They love it. They love to make fun of themselves. So as soon as I say things like, "I brought my B game tonight,"
this is
they erupt in humor.
Huge laughs.
They don't like bragging over there, and I like to make fun of myself as much as I can.
Well, but I will tell you that I think it was a couple of years ago during March Madness, one of our very own insiders, and the breakdown of what was going to happen in NCAA basketball was this man right here, Andy Kindler, as you broke down some very...
Oh, I broke down.
Yes.
I did I like to call a bracket breakdown. I have no idea. You know, I'm losing my knowledge of sports terminology. I tried to read about the hockey fight the other night.
Yes.
And I don't understand what any of it means. One guy, he asks another guy to fight. I didn't know that was. Would you like to engage in fisticuffs?
Yes.
And then
Quick text message, yeah.
and then there's this thing. I'm a man of peace. I think you know that.
I think we all know this.
by height, not by choice. So, but then when I'm watching these two goalies and they're punching each other in the face, it's like a primal. All of a sudden, I get lifted out of my. It's the most exciting thing I've ever seen. Then there's guilt and shame that follows that. Why am I enjoying two people? And I don't know if I know I'm not enjoying the person getting hit in the face. So I guess I see myself as the maybe a life that I was never able to lead, to punch people in the face.
I don't know. I'm seeing that punch.
Well,
I'm a little intimidated.
Well, when I was a kid, one of the first jokes I came up with, and some people have claimed that there haven't been jokes yet in my act. But see, that would have killed in Melbourne.
Yeah, see, that was good.
But and this is a true story. A kid was bullying me, and I would often I would just start crying, and whenever it got close to that, and I was like 4'10" through high school. So this kid goes, "I'm gonna kick your butt 3 o'clock in the playground. You better be there." And it's like, I'm not making an appointment to get my butt kicked. All right. Oh, let me see. I'm getting attacked at 2:45 by 3 guys. How about, can we push that back to 3:15, 3:30? Yes, I've always been scared of fighting.
So you saw the NHL game the other day, the Leafs game. Are you a hockey guy? Are you a baseball guy? Football guy?
My favorite sport has always been football.
Okay.
So I'm so old. I'm older than anybody. You double your age and switch it to Fahrenheit, and that's how old I am.
What's the conversion there?
Yeah, exactly. I'm 40 Celsius. So what is that? I'm 100 years old. So when I was a kid, I used to go to my dad. He had a little business, and he bought tickets at Shea Stadium, and you could buy out the whole stadium. So I watched the Jets from the time they started.
Yeah,
he's a huge Jets fan.
Huge Jets fan.
Now, but before your time though, I saw the 1968 Oakland Raiders.
I'm a Ken O'Brien and today.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
So I'm 80s guy. So.
You dropped out of Chad Pennington? What are you telling me?
No, throughout. Don't
We're going all the way this year.
I was there, Rich Kotite years. I was there for everything, but
not for the Weeb Bank.
No, that would be where you picked up.
And you loved Joe Namath, and I'd wear a fur coat around the house, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, because I can see that similarity.
Yeah. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course
he
they
wore
do.
like a fur coat.
Yes.
He had Bachelor's 3.
So
anybody? Does anyone know? I too refuse to close my nightclub.
So Andy, this Jet start, you have to be happy with the start of the season, though. This is a surprise to both of us.
I'm getting my hopes up. First of all, I didn't know we had the defensive line like that.
I know, one of the best.
No, where's home for you though? Well,
I'm from Queens, New York, but I live in Los Angeles now.
Yeah, you are now.
But and the thing is, I moved out in Los Angeles in right when, and I mean, die-hard Mets, Jets, Knicks fan. I hate, everyone of my family hates the Yankees like poison, but I don't mind the Giants though, because my dad used to watch the Giants when Y.A. Tittle, kids? I do a lot of Y.A. Tittle jokes.
It kills.
Those are huge.
You should have done that in Melbourne.
Why not A. Tittle is one of my closers from junior high school, but now I live in L.A. So then when Magic Johnson came to that whole, I got obsessed with the '80s Lakers.
Now, what about so you had now the Nets playing in Brooklyn? What's it like for the folks back at home in Brooklyn? Because that's pretty cool that they have that.
They do, but it seems like a tourist attraction. That's what it seems like. It seems like there was a lot of money and they just moved it and they created it in Brooklyn. I can't get behind the Nets. I know that they were from New Jersey, so they can't hide that. They were from New Jersey. Although who knew that New Jersey would be so popular? When I was a kid, you go, what do you know? That'd be a joke. What are you, an idiot? You an idiot? What do you live in Jersey? Now, the Real Housewives, Jersey Shore. If you're in a Hollywood meeting now, if you pitch whatever you pitch, you go, and it's in Jersey. Boom, sell.
That's the punchline. That's the finisher.
Yeah,
Closer.
and we used to avoid it. We'd get to the turnpike. My family would get nauseous.
This is going back into the early stages of the
This
act,
was
probably.
before there was electricity, before we had water. When I started stand-up comedy, you had to walk 20 miles to get the premise of the joke, and then another 30 miles to get the punchline. We had no amplification. We didn't have megaphones. Hadn't been invented. We had to cup our hands. Hey, you heckling in the back there with your stop writing with a quill pen during my acts. These days, people are maybe it's my act, but they're balancing their checkbook. They're downloading. People download apps during my show.
This is exactly what we're looking for. You got to break down then when we do March Madness. How about okay, this makes more sense when we get to the NFL playoffs. Why would you not be our NFL insider? Why would that not be?
Well, I think probably lack of knowledge of the names of the players, stuff like that.
Oh, that's it?
You can't on Letterman. Regis was on Letterman because he's at that show on Fox or something?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't mean to say Fox.
Fox Sports 1. No,
I didn't mean to, just because I don't like Rupert Murdoch. I didn't mean to say Fox. But is that controversial? First of all, I keep thinking there's an audience that's not laughing. Yeah. There's no audience here. No. Like, I'm not doing well with that Apple box over there. But so Regis was telling Letterman that he got the show, and Dave's like, you have to have knowledge. It can't be just Is it Notre Dame that he loves? Regis loves.
Yes.
And you can do Regis. You could do this Regis talking football, could you not?
Yeah. Kindler. I met Regis, and I was so happy to meet him. And he came in on this limo. He says, BLS was late. I said, well, you can complain. You can talk to B, but don't talk to L or S. And he goes, is this an example of your comedy, Kindler? Is this what you think is funny, Kindler? And then he told me a story about Don Rickles making like a 13-year-old kid cry in Malibu. The kid was a Don Rickles fan. Hey, what are you doing here, kid? Get the hell out! And I was like, I didn't say get the hell out of here, but he made fun of him in some way. And Regis is the king. But so I don't know the names. What am I gonna? No, I will know. No. By the playoffs this year, I will have everything.
Perfect.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are now talking to our new playoff NFL insider, Andy Kindler. So
thank you. Comedy insider.
That is how you do a segment right there, because now we have to run because we're out of time.
Wait a second. You're in Toronto all week.
Yes,
correct?
for JFL 42, I'm hosting the alternative show at the Comedy Bar.
Now, is that alternative music?
You have to be hip. You have to be hipster. You have to come in with a banjo.
Okay.
And, banjo's in now.
Only beards allowed.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I'm out.
And people snap. They snap instead of clap.
Are there corncob pipes? What's happening in that place?
Yeah, whatever. You can't get a corncob pipe these days. You can get corn. You can get the cob. You can get a pipe. But to get combining?
Andy Kindler.
I'm still working towards a fictional crowd.
Yes, go see him. He's doing
and
very
camera
well.
2. I love you, camera 2. Even though you're robotic. I love what you're doing.
It's 7:47 on TSN 1050.